So I am here to reinforce the points made by my teammate Daryl. And it was made clear by Daryl that California's infrastructure is in a crippled state. Roads in California are in shambles, and they are putting pressure on the economy. According to the American Society of Civil Engineers Infrastructure Report Card, 68% of California's roads are in poor or mediocre condition. With a number as significant as that, it is very easy to see how neglected our infrastructure is. However, this piece of information alone does not tell us how this is affecting American society and economy. According to a report in an article in Building America's Future, freight bottlenecks and other congestion costs about $200 billion, or 1.6% of the U.S. economic output. However, the Chamber of Commerce estimates such costs are as high as $1 trillion a year. It is shocking that we let this much money simply disappear from our economy when we could virtually eliminate the leakage of money with some more federal funding. It is true that California is in a large amount of debt. According to an article in Business Insider, the burden of debt totaled $335 billion, or 12 times higher than previously estimated. This is why we need help from the federal government. According to the American Society of Civil Engineers, we need to spend at least $2.2 trillion over the next 5 years to repair our crumbling infrastructure. Now that is a lot of money, but we are already losing up to $1 trillion a year from our previous neglect of the roads and railways in California. It is also justified that California receives some extra money from the federal government, as they produce far more in terms of GSP, that's gross state product, than any other state. According to an article in Business Insider, California has the world's 9th largest economy at 13% of America's GDP. This huge amount is enough reason for the federal government to spend more to keep California running smoothly. In order to prove how this policy will actually fix the very clear problem, we must examine what caused the problem in the first place. The current policies the California government has pertaining to infrastructure is what got us here in the first place. According to an article in Smart Growth America, California spent only 17% of its highway expenditures on repair and maintenance of existing roads. However, it also spent 20% of that, or $791 million, on expanding roads a mere 19 miles. In order to fix this problem, the federal funding would have to have restrictions so that the money only gets spent where it desperately needs. Lastly, it is important to illustrate how these repairs will help California and the U.S. According to a report by the White House, research has shown that well-designed infrastructure investment can raise economic growth, productivity, and land values, while also providing significant positive spillovers to areas such as economic development, energy efficiency, public health, and manufacturing. Therefore, it is clear that infrastructure spending will bring great benefits to not only the roads themselves, but several other areas of society. As to whether the large price tag is worth it, we must look at an economic principle known as a multiplier. For every area the government spends money on, there's a principle known as a multiplier. The government puts some amount of money into an area, and they observe a multiplied amount of the original investment showing up in the economy. According to an article in American Progress, analysis of all fiscal stimulus policies shows a higher multiplier from infrastructure spending than other kinds of government spending, such as tax cuts, meaning that infrastructure dollars flow through the economy and create more jobs than other kinds of spending. So even though the federal government would have to give away more than $1 trillion, they would receive a lot more in tax income in the long run. To summarize, California's roads are in great need of repair. The congestion we experience from less than perfect roads and freight train backups is costing California up to $1 trillion a year. California deserves more money from the federal government based on the fact that they produce far more than any other state. California's previous mentality of building more roads has led to a huge decline in the condition of existing roads, and is only wasting the little money that they receive. Federal funding with restrictions to only repair the existing infrastructure would stop money from disappearing by easing the congestion and freight bottlenecks. The multiplier effect on infrastructure spending could be as high as 2, meaning that California could see $4 trillion of taxable money appear in the economy.